Hi, welcome to this Monday evening's meditation beyond the I, beyond the identification of the I. My name is Steph Skupin. I have been doing these meditations for the last 2 years, and I generally work with people who want to have a little bit more space in their lives and who are longing for that freedom that can be found once the mind is understood for what it is. So everything in all 10 world appearances is created by mind and mind alone. That is the basic teaching of the Yoga Vasishtha. The Yoga Vasishtha is a Vedic text that dates back from before Christ. And what does that really mean? Everything in the 10 world appearances is created by mind and mind alone. What is this the influence of this teaching in my life? What if mind does really create the world? The purpose of meditation is to calm that mind. And the purpose of a calm mind is to enjoy clear thinking, or less thinking, or even no thinking. The normal state for most of us is obsessive thinking. Byron Katie says that thinking is the ultimate addiction. I would say it's believing what we think that is addictive. And that is what the Buddhists call attachment. Obsessive thinking. Obsessive thinking, what does that mean? It means you can't stop the process at will. And I'm sure you've noticed that if you have been doing any meditation before this one, I'm sure you have noticed that you can't just stop that process of thinking at will. And then also we don't try and stop it because we're convinced we need to think. Because without thinking, how are we going to function in the world? Isn't it right? And our conviction to this runs deep. In 1634, the French philosopher René Descartes said, "I think, therefore I am." And when we believe this, we identify with the thinking mind. I think, therefore I am. So this is how I know that I am, because I think. René Descartes actually also said that in order to arrive at the truth of our existence, one must question everything one thought one knew. That's not the quote we all remember. And when we habitually just believe our thinking, we tend to take judgments and the comparisons at face value. And as a result of that, what happens is that we often find ourselves living in a threatening world and in an unsatisfactory world. Some of the judgment that we're not questioning are really scary. They're so scary, we don't even try to look at them. And so those judgments become our shadow self. They are the figuratively dark attic that we dare not go to. The Tao Te Ching, Book of Wisdom by Lao Tzu, says naming is the origin of all particular things. Naming is the origin of all particular things. Similar statement, isn't it? Before language, as small children, we see the world as new and exciting. And as we begin to name each thing, language, we want language to communicate with other humans around us. We only need it to communicate with humans. As we use the labels of language, I know mind kicks in. I know mind. And this state of mind, I know mind, glosses over what it thinks it knows. Oh, it's a tree. No reason to pay further attention to it. I know it. Oh, I know this is a car. It's a bird. It's a house. It's a person. The sea. Moving right along. And so this I know mind acts as a screen between ourselves and proper appreciation of the aliveness of the world. This proper appreciation allows us to feel the aliveness and to feel connected to the world. Only when we see that inherent life of the world and the things in the world can we feel connected to it. And in appreciating this, we begin to create a space for love to flow and for love to blossom. So in today's meditation, we'll practice getting still with the forms in our world. So the invitation is to get ready to meditate. So allow yourselves to sit easily and comfortably. Sit with the spine erect and the chest open, and for now you may close your eyes and just become aware of the rise and flow of the breath. Become aware of your individual rhythm of breath right now. This is normal for you right now. This breath. Become aware of the sensations of breath. The sensation of the flow of air going through the nostrils and arriving at the back of the throat, traveling down the esophagus, the trachea, traveling down the trachea into the chest, the windpipe, expanding the chest and collapsing the chest, coming back out. And then follow the sensation of breath, the awareness of sensation further down into the body, all the way down to the feet. Becoming aware of the feet resting on the floor or the ground you're sitting on. Becoming aware of the sensation of toes, soles, span, the ankles. And then sensation of aliveness of the foot. Become aware of your lower legs. Your knees. The thighs. The buttocks, hips, the area of the genitals. Become aware of the lower abdomen. The region of the stomach and the liver just underneath the ribs. And as you travel through the body, every time you encounter a place that is maybe a little tense or sticky, just allow yourself to see if you can release that tension just with a little bit of kind attention to it. And if it's too much tension, it won't release, just allow it to be there for now. And become aware of the chest. The shoulders. We often carry a lot of tension in the shoulders. And just scan what they feel like right now. And become aware of the arms. The hands. Fingers. Become aware of the length of the spine, all the way from the sits bones to the base of the skull. Become aware of the throat. The face. The top of the head and the back of the head. The area of the ears. Become aware of the whole body. The whole body. In a minute, I will ask you to gently open your eyes and look around the room that you're in. And just allow your eyes to rest on an object for maybe 5-10 seconds. And just watching the object and then moving on to another object. And seeing what happens with each of them, each of these objects. If you don't just name it, but actually just watch it, just see it. Allow it to show itself to you in its entirety without a label. So open your eyes and allow your eyes just to go somewhere. Maybe you have a plant in your field of vision. That would be a good place to start. And just watching it for a moment, taking in its being, its presence. And then moving on to another thing. And moving on to another thing. Doesn't really matter what it is at all. Just watching, taking in the form, the colors, the being, the dimensions, the being of whatever your eyes rest on. Noticing if the mind wants to supply the label. You know what this is. This is the candle, this is the pen. And just nod to the label. And what else? What is this? What is this thing? Without favoring one thing over another, just allow your gaze to move from one thing to another in your room. Just seeing what is there. Noticing the story, the interpretation of it, the name, the label that mind wants to supply. And then maybe you have something that you can reach easily, maybe somewhere in front of you. Like I have this little stone. And just allow yourself to explore this thing, whatever it is for you, with more than your eyes. Just paying close attention to what it feels like. Again, without labeling the sensation, but just taking it in. Notice how mind wants to give you all the information. Oh, this is a piece of jasper, and look, it's got a piece of quartz inside it, and look, this is striated and it's soft, so this might be cut, and on and on and on. And notice as the mind brings the story, how your awareness of the actual thing in front of you diminishes in that moment. Your seeing of it is less. And then notice how, after you've done this for a moment, mind just wants to drift on to something else and come back to this. And then maybe you want to put that particular object back and pick up something else. And do the same thing with this thing. Just watching what it is. Appreciating its presence. Without weighing it, without judging it, without naming it. Just seeing how it is. Giving it your full attention. And then maybe for a moment, bringing your attention back into the body. Maybe even close your eyes for a moment. Focus on your breath. And then once again, pick up something. Just a random object that is within easy reach. And just look at it. And then when you put it down with reverence, as if it was something treasured, something alive. And once again, bring the attention back into the body, closing the eyes. Coming to the feet, becoming aware of the feet and the legs and the hips. The abdomen and the chest. Becoming aware of the shoulders and arms and hands. The spine. The head. Becoming aware of the whole body. Bringing your awareness into the body. Embodying consciousness. Becoming aware of the chair you're sitting on. And the environment you're in. Maybe it's a room or maybe you're outside. Just becoming aware of where you are. And again, taking a deep breath in. And breathing out. Once again, taking a deep breath in. And breathing out slowly and gently in your own time. When you're ready, open the eyes again. This exercise today to become aware of the objects in your environment is adapted from the exercises in the Course of Miracles. And the invitation is to spend a few moments each day in this coming week to pay attention to the objects in the world around you in this manner. Just watching them and noticing the story that comes up and dropping the story and just coming back to the being of this object. And if you enjoyed these meditations and you're not signed up yet, there is a link to sign up to get the reminders and the recordings for these meditations in your inbox underneath this video. Thank you for meditating and have a good rest of your day.